It is Tuesday, December 16th, Hanukkah in the United States and Canada, and this is What Chaos from the Sports Interaction Studio. My name is David Bean. Across the room is Sean DePaz, and in Chicago, Illinois, is Emily Kaplan. How are you, Emily?
I'm doing so great. I am so honored to be back as a guest so soon and a guest
Yes.
host. I feel like I'm part of like Chaos Core right now, and I feel really good about it.
Yes, for better or worse. I did text Pete before the show. Pete is in for, or Emily, I'm sorry, is in for Pete. I texted Pete before the show, said I'm always nervous doing anything without you. We may dick around with each other on here, but when I leave, Pete gets weird, and when Pete leaves, I get weird. So if I have a bad show today, it's just
anxiety.
It is separation anxiety. I don't have my little guy with me, although I did upgrade the equipment. Sean, you seeing this?
I am.
I finally put the stew sticker on my laptop because I found that laying around, and today is a very big stew day. So, Sean, if you would, tell the folks what is on the show.
Today on the show, Emily's here. Kind of already got that one. Sabres latest. My sweet Sabres finally fired Kevyn Adams, replaced him with Jarmo Kekäläinen.
Who's getting a great reception from the chat.
Yes, chat definitely was not talking about how shiny his head was, but he was genuinely getting a good reaction from Sabres fans after his presser this morning. So
okay,
that's exciting.
Chat, Glowy is in. Glowy is in chat.
Cory Wong joins. Drummer or guitarist, and,
although he can play drums.
Yeah, I'm sure. And Minnesota Wild fan, Wolfpack. I don't know.
Yep,
you would know more.
Yeah, Wolfpack. He's played with so many artists. He's also just like he knows everybody.
Yeah,
he knew Prince.
I was gonna say that part was.
I asked Minnesota.
Yeah, but I was asking him about like, and it'll be included. But I'm like, what other music people are into hockey? And it was all building to Prince, and I didn't realize that, like, of course he actually did know Prince. Like, he plays with a lot of people who played with Prince, but I was like, was Prince a hockey guy? And he was like, he never mentioned it to me. And I'm like, damn. He does have, though, the funniest story about meeting another music legend that is amazing. We, as usual, we have like a show edit for this that's about 35 minutes, which is still very long. But after the show, you can go on YouTube and find the very full conversation in which we talk with him about so many things, hockey, music, just being an incredible vibes guy. He's the best. Emily, so like people either don't know who Cory Wong is or they're very excited about Cory Wong. You texted me when you saw that we said Cory Wong was going to be on the show. You're a fan?
I'm a huge fan. I honestly was like, I can't believe you're making me open for Cory Wong. I don't know what's worse, like going before him or after him, and I have to do both. Thank you so much for this rookie hazing. He's just got bops. I don't remember who introduced him to me. I think it was my college buddy Jack, who's just like always into really fun, funky music. But like he's in the shower, getting ready to go out. Like you just want to feel good about yourself. You listen to some Cory Wong.
And he is just the most positive person in the world. So even if people check this out, like when the conversation leaves hockey, I just think it's a really interesting conversation in terms of just being a super positive dude who doesn't worry about what if this idea I have is stupid, which is right up our alley. That is a core principle of this show. But we haven't made... Yes, Chaos Core. But we have not made nearly the cool things this guy has, but we're trying. And lastly, Sean?
Stew revenge game. We got Stuart Skinner versus, I almost said versus Calvin Pickard, which I guess is possible now, but no, Stuart Skinner versus Tristan Jarry in Pittsburgh.
Stuart Skinner set to make his Penguins debut against the Oilers, and I'm obviously rooting for the Oilers and anything the Oilers do, Emily, but it will not surprise you that the Stuart Skinner trade ruined my life, because I am worried that Stuart Skinner still might end up being the best player in this trade, with apologies to Brett Kulak. What was your reaction to that? Like, I'm sure you heard they were trying for Jarry for a while, but I just never thought they would move him for Jarry.
I know. I think the assumption we all had was that they were going to be a tandem together, and what a great tandem that would be, right? Like two guys who can be the guy at any given time, but maybe have some inconsistencies and can build off each other. But I don't think people realize just what a glue guy Calvin Pickard is. I think that's the underrated aspect of it, of just how beloved he is in that room, how hard he works. He's a total journeyman. Like, I met Calvin Pickard. Sorry, this is just like a complete tangent, but it was one of my first assignments when I was covering the hockey beat. Vegas was just announced as an expansion team, and they were on this bus tour in Idaho, like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and Montana, and they were trying to like stake their ground as like these are Vegas Golden Knights territories. And Calvin Pickard was on that as like going to be one of the faces of the Golden Knights, and they trotted him out there to interact with fans to market him. And then it was right before the season began. PK Subban's brother, Malcolm Subban, went on waivers from, I believe, the Boston Bruins. They snatched him, totally discarded Calvin Pickard. He goes to the AHL for like a number of years, and then for him to emerge right now, all that is to say, Calvin Pickard's a great guy and a great story. He and Stu Skinner were one of my favorite tandems, and now I think you take a really big risk going for Tristan Jarry, and I think Stu Skinner was ready for a new challenge, and this is a bet on himself situation, and he now goes into a crowded goalie room in Pittsburgh, and let's see who emerges next year as the guy that's getting the contract and the starts.
Yeah, I don't know what happens with Stu in the offseason, but as I said, I'm so worried that he's going to end up being the best goalie of the goalies that were moved in this deal. I also do believe, like, I absolutely buy that, especially Connor McDavid. I just think that Connor McDavid personally likes Calvin Pickard so much more than he likes Stuart Skinner.
He's an awesome guy.
Which is I mean, that's great, but also, I mean, if this were, I'd honestly feel better about this trade if they were like, Connor McDavid just really wanted Tristan Jarry. I'd be like, okay, he's got the LeBron thing going on where just do everything that he says, but otherwise, I don't know, like we'll do our sports interaction thing later, and I think that it just would make so much sense for not only Stu to play well tonight, but to go on a run, because when you least expect him to be good, sometimes he's still pretty bad, but also other times there he ends up being really good. Let's also talk about Sean's Buffalo Sabres, because Sean has a big night ahead of him. First of all, you're going to the Utah Mammoth Boston Bruins game, which means you get to debut, Sean, your JJ Peterka jersey that Pete basically made us get you. What's that experience going to be like?
Weird.
Bad.
I mean, it's going to be awesome as long as JJ doesn't score. Because if JJ scores, then I'm going to have conflicting emotions. As long as Utah just comes in and handles business, and I get to watch the Bruins lose, I'll be plenty pleased. But if JJ is the reason, then I'm going to be it's going to be bittersweet.
You're going to look like the big. You will wear that if you go, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll definitely.
You're going to look like the biggest fucking weirdo if JJ Peterka scores, because you're not going to celebrate, and people are going to be like, "Why is this fucking guy here?" Then.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably celebrate in the immediate, like the Bruins got scored on, and then I'll realize who it is, and I'll be real sad. But I guess I could wear my Logan Cooley jersey, but that's not as fun.
Nah, that's kind of a throwback-ish type thing.
They don't wear those.
Okay, big day for you, Sean. Jarmo Kekäläinen introduced as GM of the Buffalo Sabres. Coolest part of the press conference, Sean, we were watching before, is just that Terry Pegula was there, and he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jarmo Kekäläinen, I'm a head out." And then he ducked out and didn't take any questions.
Yeah.
Which, like, whatever. I don't really know what I would ask Terry Pegula today, but I also don't know what I would ask
Jarmo. I have a lot
Jarmo.
of questions.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
questions.
what would you ask him, Emily?
Well, I think the number one question, right? So, like, we come into this, and there's like a couple biggest, worst kept secrets in the league this season. One is that Quinn Hughes is going to get traded, and that happens. And then the other is that Jarmo Kekäläinen is basically a GM in waiting for Kevyn Adams, and that happens. But the other, like, worst kept secret in the league right now, I think, is that whoever's the general manager in Buffalo doesn't necessarily have full autonomy. Like, Lindy Ruff was a Terry Pegula hire, and I think the biggest quote that came out from Jarmo Kekäläinen's press conference was, he's going to give me full autonomy to run the hockey department. He's going to give us every resource, no excuses about guys wanting to come here. And I want to know, like, is that a change in philosophy? Are you actually committed to doing it? Or what are those conversations behind the scenes? Because now I think the entire hockey community is just wait and see approach, because we know who Jarmo is, right? He's been around for a while. We know what he's about. He's a scouting guy. He's a really good pickleball guy. For anyone chirping him for his appearance, like, he will smoke you on the pickleball court. But he's also a decisive guy, and I think he wants to come in and make decisions. And does he actually have that full autonomy to do it? I'm also a Penn Stater, and I want to ask Terry Pegula about our Nittany Lions, but that's another little side topic.
Why do you think that he has kind of moved on from the puppet approach as an owner to just having puppets? Because like Jarmo is not going to be a puppet.
I think it just got too loud. Like I think of the Fire Adams chants that have been prevalent in Buffalo now. Sean is boots on the ground reporting, man. We love to
Participated.
have it.
No, I didn't do all that.
And I had a great relationship with Kevin, and I think a lot of the public perception of him was probably unfair. I think that he was always trying to do best for the organization, and he was a loyal soldier. And look, they've drafted really well. There's some great talent there. But at the end of the day, this is a team that really wasn't going anywhere, and you have to do something drastic when that happens. So they pulled the plug. We'll see what happens here. I think everyone in the league right now, though, is curious again. What type of power does Jarmo Kekäläinen have, and what changes is he able to institute this soon? Like he says, he thinks that they can make the playoffs this season, and I think all of us are now wondering about a coaching change. I said it again, like Lindy Ruff was a Terry Pegula hire. If you know anything about Lindy Ruff, legend in this game, but probably not the coach in the modern NHL that can bring you structure, that can bring you discipline, that can bring you accountability. And is there somebody else? I think a lot of people are wondering, Seth Appert, does he take over? I think he was an Adams guy, maybe a yes man. I'm wondering about their AHL coach, Michael Leone. He's having a lot of success at Rochester right now. They're without 5 centers and still staying afloat in the standings. I keep an eye on him. And then there's the Torts of it all. Like, do you come get our coworker yet again? Like, Torts is doing great on TV. If you're not watching him on ESPN Plus, I don't think that he's had a call with them yet, but I do wonder if that's a call that Jarmo makes to try to get the band back together.
Do you think, some of the names that you just mentioned would be first-time NHL head coaches. So the fact that they went to Jarmo, Lindy famously was not a first-time NHL head coach, and I don't think that he's been horrible there, but I also think that clearly he hasn't been able to overcome what exists in Buffalo right now. Do you think that they would lean more towards like a Torts type or someone who might end up long-term being a higher-end guy?
I wonder, like, if you make the change this season, if you do a Michael Leone, who's in the AHL, because it doesn't cost you much, and you basically just give him, hey, we're giving you a tryout for the rest of the season. Can you get these guys into shape? Can we be competitive and be playing meaningful games after the Olympic break in March and April? And can you earn yourself the full job? And then do we do a full coaching search in the summer? All of that said, if you're really trying to get these guys going and you feel like, okay, we need to get Tage Thompson and Rasmus Dahlin to commit long-term, or like they're starting to get antsy and Alex Tuch doesn't want to resign here because he doesn't know what the future is, like you have to go get the guy now. So those are the things that I'm tracking right now.
Sean, do you have the Sabres roster, if you could throw it up on the screen? Because Jarmo Kekäläinen has this roster to deal with. And honestly, if everyone's healthy, good top 6, obviously loaded defense, and then the goalies is I searched Adobe stock for, I just searched lots of people because they have a million goaltenders. I said yesterday, and like I feel like Pete and I have always kind of danced around this, but don't want to be caught saying it. Like, I like the Sabres roster. Sean, like you kind of like the Sabres roster.
Yeah, I think they're like pretty respectable down the middle. They probably could use like another top 6 center, especially since Josh Norris can never stay healthy. And like, it's not the greatest roster, but it's a roster that's, I think, better than what they've performed as. And then, yeah, they
you also don't have
to
Kesselring there, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Kesselring's in the top 6 when he's healthy.
They've been so hurt between, Kesselring. They had Kulik with his like blood clot issue. Zucker's hurt. Like they've had so many injuries, and they've had a weird goalie situation. And they had Rasmus Dahlin in Europe for a while, and like you mentioned, Emily, Michael Kesselring. So like, this is not even what they're fully supposed to be. And then they had to send down like Noah Ostlund because they had 3 goalies at one point. So it's just kind of been a mess. But yeah, I think once they can like actually figure out the goalie situation, everyone's healthy, and then Jarmo is actually taking charge. Like, I absolutely think this is a good roster.
So like, how does he put his stamp on this team? Because I think Tuch is obviously a big question mark. Do they move him? But he also said that he thinks they can make the playoffs, which I also think they can make the playoffs. The Eastern Conference is really weird right now. The Atlantic Division is really weird right now, although the Florida Panthers are the hottest team in hockey. Like, they could go on a run, and if there's one thing the Sabres do, it's go on a run. But if there's another thing the Sabres do, it's go on a run when it doesn't really matter anymore. If they get their shit together, do you think there's a possibility that like they don't end up moving an Alex Tuch?
It's funny, isn't it so like fitting of the Sabres that they went on a 3-game winning streak there first of the season right before you fire the GM? Like, to your point, just like when it's irrelevant. I think that there's 2 ways that he can make a stamp on this roster immediately. One is the coaching situation, and he did not commit to Lindy Ruff. He said they're evaluating everything, and I think, again, that opened the conversation for the rest of us. If he's committed to Lindy Ruff, we wouldn't be speculating right now about who could possibly come in behind the bench. And then I think the Tuch thing is huge because this is a guy that was born and raised in Western New York who wants to be a part of this. And Kevyn Adams, like his most maligned press conference was him just complaining about like, well, we don't have the palm trees. We've got New York State taxes. And everyone was giving him so much. Sorry, this is going to be my first time cursing, and I want to keep your mom, DJ, being happy.
No,
but
chat's been going nuts. Chat's been swearing like crazy. They're so excited that you're here that you get to swear.
I want to keep this more NSFW this time. You know, we do it for the moms, we do it for the kids, but Kevyn Adams got shit for that press conference. We know he got shit for it, and it's true. And so if you have a guy that's this talented that so many other people want, like, just re-sign him. And from my understanding, like the contract talks really didn't go anywhere to begin the season. At one point, Kevyn Adams told me, this is maybe like 6 or 8 weeks ago, like the ball's in Alex's court. Like it's up to him now. And I think he wants to see which way this is going. So if you get this guy to re-sign, I think that signals a huge message both to the fan base and in the locker room. This is what we're about. We're about keeping and retaining talent. We're about pushing forward and being competitive. Thank you, chat. Swear Emily, go. Let her rip. Or do you trade him and you're going to have to win that trade? And I will say this about Kevyn Adams. He made a lot of big trades, and a lot of them are not going to look flattering in history, right? Sam Reinhart going to Florida, Jack Eichel going to Vegas. Both of those had some extraneous factors. He also won some trades, though. Like, Sean, catch me if I'm wrong, and I know we're joking about JJ Peterka here, but, like, Josh Stone and Kesselring. Yeah, like, that's a dub.
We've seen a couple games of Kesselring, and it doesn't even like it could have just been Doan for Peterka. And at this point, I feel like the Sabres won that trade. So yeah, I've always been very defensive amongst Sabres fans of Kevyn Adams' tenure in the sense that like I agree. I think he got more criticism than he deserved. I think a lot of the trades that people look back on that weren't great, he kind of was forced into a corner, and he wasn't trading with a whole lot of leverage to begin with. Definitely not a great GM. Definitely made lots of mistakes, but I don't think everything that's gone wrong with the Sabres over the last 5.5 years has been Kevyn Adams' fault.
Do you think, like, if they're not selling, do you think that they could still make a kind of Cousins-esque trade like they made last year where they try to go for a hockey trade? And I'm looking at that roster, and I think they keep all the goalies, but, like, Owen Power, is that the new Dylan Cousins in terms of, like, what do you do with that guy, or am I out of my mind?
Owen Power's been, like, respectable this year, honestly. Bo Byram has really been a little bit more of an issue. But
are you saying that there could be conversations about if a team trades Bo Byram?
Yeah, for once.
I don't believe
it's never
that.
happened before.
Like, but Emily, could you see him kind of peeling off somebody with term to put his stamp on this thing?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the one thing that GMs had been saying to begin this season and over the summer is nobody wants to make future trades anymore. Like everyone is just looking for that hockey trade player for player. And up until this past week, we couldn't find any of those trades, right? Everyone was hamstrung. But if you look at a roster that's right for it, it would be the Buffalo Sabres because, again, I think we have to give credit where it's due. They've drafted really well. There's a lot of young talent here, and there's a lot of contracts that would be attractive to other teams if they're willing to bring in players that can help now. I think it's a matter, again, of how many of these guys are fully committed to the vision of Buffalo. And I think there's got to be a sales job that's happening right now from Jarmo Kekäläinen of like, here's where I envision us, here's where we're going. Because I do wonder about Power and Byram. Like, are they fully in, or maybe do they want to get out, and do they want a change of scenery?
Okay, a couple more things before we get to Cory Wong. The Predators beat the Blues and are 7-3 now since Barry Trotz allegedly said he needed more fucking from the players. I don't know if you did any digging around on this. I'm pretty sure that he didn't say that. I think the Tennessean actually just posted that quote wrong online and cleaned it up, because now when I look for that quote, it says, I need fucking more, but quote cards are forever. So that's just a thing. And we already have the history of Barry Trotz taking away, what was it, Sean? The U2 concert?
U2 concert
yeah,
at the Sphere.
Taking away the U2 concert. So, like, A, do you know if he actually said, I need more fucking? And B, do you believe in Barry Trotz's power of being mad, making the Preds good?
I did not do my homework on this one. Did not do some background checking. My gut says if a newspaper changed the quote after the fact, there was some kind of issue with the initial quote, whether it was AI, someone transcribed it wrong, a call from PR that said, hey, what the hell? You completely just swapped the words here. This means something completely fucking different. That's going to be my only other curse. I think I'm going to really behave myself from here on out. Um, this is what I'd say about the Predators right now, though. Like, everyone's wondering, are they going to make a change this season? Like, I see the results recently, and I do think that him coming out publicly probably lit a fire under the group. I think it's a group that does have some pride, more pride than they've showed the last 2 seasons. But why would they make any big changes now? Even if they go and continue on the trajectory that they're on, like they're not making the playoffs. They have to be near perfect from here out to make the playoffs. So I think from, this moment to maybe the Olympic break, what we're looking at, which of these guys with the big contracts would be amenable to move? Which of these guys is starting to step up and find them game like a Stamkos? And is it just, I don't want to say we're looking towards the future here, but I don't think anything this season for the Nashville Predators is indicative of where they're going. Like, we see the way that they're already trending. They just traded a 25-year-old defenseman to get younger. Like, they're not really hiding in bones about it. Yes, they want to be more competitive right now, but I think that's just to enhance the trade value of some of these big guys. They know that this is probably a lost season.
A very Greerian move, a very Mike Greer move to trade a 25-year-old defense. But hey, if Spencer Stastny ends up being good, I'll take it. I still absolutely despise moving Brett Kulak for Edmonton. And also, I want to ask you about this, Emily, because there's kind of an Emily Kaplan tie-in. I don't know if you saw the end of the Ducks Rangers game last night, but the Ducks
we can
won.
talk about a sad, mad Igor Shesterkin.
Igor Shesterkin is kind of on pissy pants watch, and you see there, and he's doing pissy pants, and which Carrick is that? That's got to be Sam Carrick. Loses his mind. If you're listening on audio, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube as well. But he smashed it as a stick and everything. And have you ever been in like the blast zone of a hissy fit when you've been doing ice level reporting?
No. The boys have behaved. I've witnessed some, maybe like some temper tantrums, if you will. Like one of my favorite moments ever. I think it was Mo Sider's second year in the league, and I'm standing between the benches, the Red Wings bench, and I think they were playing the Ducks. Maybe the Ducks just get under everybody's skin, and he just starts like breaking out this like bok 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 chicken thing, and cannot stop. It's just like uncontrollably trolling someone on the Ducks, just calling him a chicken. That I felt very safe. Just the laughs came in because it was just pretty pure comedy at that moment. I did get a black eye once. Again, another Red Wings game. There was a scrum in front of me. A bunch of sticks just got tangled, and I got hit in the crossfire. I think it was Oscar Sundqvist. I'm going to blame his stick. Sonny, though, I think he broke his ribs on the play, so I have no right to complain, but that was a shiner for a couple days, and the Red Wings did provide a helmet for me in the third period. It was pretty cheeky with the masking tape that said Emily across it. Have not worn that, so that's probably the closest I've come to danger.
That's absolutely amazing. So like you've definitely, if we would have seen it, you haven't had like a Ferraro Ottinger situation either, where you've just been like, fuck, I wish that my station could be 5 feet in either direction.
No, I think my first year I remember I was saying something about Corey Perry as Corey Perry was right there. That was my welcome to the league moment where I just get the death glare from Corey Perry, like, are you fucking serious right now? Curse number 3. Fun fact about the Red Wings helmet, though. Fast forward to last season, the equipment staff kept it. This like little helmet that would fit my head. It was very old, and it had the masking tape that said Emily. And so like every time I had a Red Wings game, they would bring it out as kind of a joke. And Ben Sherratt got a penalty in that game and has to go to the box and lost his helmet at some point during the play. And so the ref comes over to the bench, is like, hey, like he needs a helmet to go to the box. And for whatever reason, they can't find Ben Sherratt's helmet. And the one that was sitting there was like the Emily helmet. And so someone goes and skates it over to him. And I'm just watching Ben in the penalty box being like, what the hell is this child's helmet that I now have to go put on my head? So that was pretty funny. And I'm hoping that they have disposed of it since, so that there's no more mishaps there.
That's amazing. What's the best arena to do that gig?
I think it is Little Caesars in Detroit, and also Dallas, because there's no actually between the bench spot. So you're literally on the bench. And so I just think that the unobstructed views, being able to hear everything, be able to see everything, but you also have to be a lot more careful, just considering you're literally on the bench.
Okay. Well, how do you like doing the like being the Schefter now?
It's interesting. I don't never want to be compared to Schefter because I don't think I'll ever be him. I want to, put a stamp on the job and do it my way. And I pick and choose the spots of stories that I think that I can break some ground on. But it's fun. And I think that, in the US, there's just a market for it, right? Like we need to infiltrate these hockey stories more into the ESPN ecosystem and get them on our daily programming and on our website and on the push alerts. And I take a lot of pride in that and growing the game in that way and using my platform. So it's been fun. I've had definitely had some more, candid conversations with general managers and agents, and I feel like I'm in the know and I feel like I know what's going on. But the common thing with everyone is like you feel like you got a pulse on it, but then Elliot just comes out of nowhere from the top shelf and just like mic drops everybody always. And it's funny because so many times everyone's just like, I don't know where he got that info, and nobody does. He's just that good. Goddamn Elliot.
I would say I would be sleeping so much better because like I would just do like TV shows in a studio and the lights were on and I was doing that until 10 p.m. or whatever. Like the hits going to you now, it's like, Emily, what do you got? And like you have your thing and you got time and you can kind of let it breathe and you can go back and forth. Whereas like it would get to me, the like, Emily, what do you got? And like everyone's fucking yelling and you have like 10 seconds with someone who can't really hear you. Like it has to be a lot, like you'll probably live longer as a result.
Let's hope. I hope this is adding some longevity. I think the thing that people don't realize about rinkside reporting in hockey, it's just so different than other sports. Like I really want to make ground and being the eyes and ears, but especially if you're not between the benches. Like I look at football sideline reporters and NBA sideline reporters. I'm like, they're in the huddle. They're like eavesdropping the game plan right now. They're like standing next to the medical tent, like watching them tape up the ankle. And like there's actually things to provide in hockey. There just aren't those access points because of the way the rink is constructed, the way that guys go off and go to these areas that are completely hidden. And then when they throw to you, it's the game is so fast. Like you cannot be speaking when they drop the puck in the faceoff because of these set plays. Like guys can score in 2 to 3 seconds. So it's a challenging role. And you're right. I have appreciated the opportunity to let my reports breathe a little bit and chit chat and show some of my personality.
Awesome. Well, we've said we have the Cory Wong interview. We're going to give it to you now. If you do not know who Cory Wong is an amazing guitarist. He is like, we talk a little bit about it. I don't know if it makes the show edit, but like rhythm guitarist when I grew up kind of was derogatory. Because like if you're not the lead guitarist, you're the rhythm guitarist, so you're the second best guitarist in the band. And this guy's like his own thing, and he's one of the best rhythm guitarists like really ever. His music is so fun, and he's also a huge Minnesota Wild fan. So if you don't know who he is, at the very least, just like give him a follow on Instagram. He's got a bajillion followers, and he makes the most insane videos. He absolutely rocks. Here's our conversation with Cory Wong. Let's bring in one of the greats, I believe the only person to play with both Bernard Purdy and Mike Modano. You know him from his solo stuff. You know him from Wolfpack. You know him from Team Wong in the crazy game of hockey. You also know him from Wong on Ice. Cory Wong, thank you so much for joining us. You could not, I don't know if you know anything about our show. You are the most perfect guest imaginable. So thank you for being here.
Hey, man, I'm stoked to be here. Long time coming. Glad we got it worked out.
You are stoked to be here because you get to be on a hockey show right now. You're a Wild guy. Wild get Quinn Hughes. You went to the debut. Your seats were absolutely choice. You saw the Wild take belt to ass of the Bruins. How does it feel right now to be a Wild fan?
It feels pretty good. I gotta apologize to your partner in crime there. I didn't think we were going to put the type of beat down that we did last night, but it was a fun game. It's a great time to be a Wild fan. You know, there's been a lot of years of ups and downs, and hopefully we're going to get ourselves closer to the prize here. It's feeling honestly really good.
You should. I mean, Quinn Hughes is unbelievable. Generational talent. We've like hammered the Wild a little bit over the past handful of years for being so fucking boring and not really doing anything of substance. Mm-hmm. So, like, would you consider that to be fair and accurate leading up to the past few years? And at this point, like, what's the level of excitement for where this team is at right now and where they're headed?
I mean, I think what's happened is there's been a lot of people since the Parisi Suter thing. We've made a bunch of softer moves, quote unquote, and this year feels like, well, in the last 18 months or something, it's like we made some bigger moves and really making some bigger steps. So the vibes are so high. The vibes, Grand Casino Arena, still weird to say that, by the way. Still the X in my heart.
Yeah.
Vibes were so high. It feels so good. The talk around town, it just feels great. We're making big moves, and it's like one of those things where at what point do you really try to make a move for it? And it feels like, oh, we're doing this. We're doing this now. Now we're going for it. So it feels good. I mean, I've loved the team. There's been some trades that were like, oh, that's tough to see, and then it happens, and you're like, okay, cool, whatever. Like there's a lot of kind of fan favorites that we've traded away. I think the most current being Buyum, and I think Rossi was a likable guy too. I liked Hutzadinov. It was fun to see him last night in the building again.
He rocks.
Just fun guy, a hard worker. I mean, I remember when he was on the Wild, he was going hard every shift, and it felt like, he was. I remember him coming in, watching his first game with the Wild, just like, oh, Scat's going to be coming in and doing work, and he really was putting in the work. And who was it? We traded him in Lauco.
Yeah,
for
Brazo.
Lauco.
For Brazo. Yeah, we're big Lauco. He plays like video games with Lauco. Is that? Yeah. Oh no, just like Lauco liked you on social media.
Yeah, and like we made plans to play video games, never ended up happening. But he's an awesome guy. Still miss him stateside, but I was happy to get him. Happy to get him back. And Hutzadinov, I did not expect a Hutzadinov pull in this interview. Off to a strong start. I like that guy a lot. Yeah,
I love him. It was great, and it was fun. They had a little welcome back to the state of hockey. They showed him on the screen. He was smiling, and he was one of those people that was kind of he seems very likable. He was a cool dude, and I really like the guy. I really like.
You mentioned the Parise Suter thing. How different does this feel than that? Because I brought up today, like, I hope no Wild fan, like if you're a Wild fan and are anything but ecstatic today, you're out of your mind. But like, they have done the like, we will build a team around 2-star players thing, but this isn't a Parise Suter thing. With respect to those two players, like you're now with the Avalanche and the Oilers in terms of how does that team have both of those players? So like, does this seem that much better than what that was?
In my eyes, yes. I wasn't as deep in the game when Parise Suter, when that thing went down. Like, I wasn't following as close. But it feels, I mean, the obvious thing that people are saying is like, oh, is this going to be a McKinnon-McCarr thing? And honestly, I would say almost beyond that too, because one thing that I think, one player in particular that I think will prove to be more complete than a casual fan might know is Boldy. I mean, we have Boldy as well, who's just like insane talent. And, we actually have a lot more depth than, like, obviously the thing that people are talking about is Kaprizov and Hughes, but we have Faber and Boldy. We have a lot of great players that I think are going to do huge for this team.
And lest everyone forget, they traded for David Jiricek last year. Like, that was like like they're starting to position themselves to have the next harmony. I think that Buyum is going to be a loss, and it's why I'm trying to tell Canucks fans it's not that bad, even though it's fucking miserable for them right now. Like, Buyum's a loss, but we're a big get the player show where, like, especially if it seems like he's going to be willing to resign. And even if he doesn't, like, this is the caliber of player that you make that push for. So I absolutely love it. I'm looking at my notes right now. I'm furious at myself. I meant to say you're the Stamkos of the Stratocaster. I meant to say that with respect, because that's what you called Dave Cause the Sultan of Smooth.
That's right.
And I was like, fuck, I need to think of like a Cory Wong-esque nickname for Cory Wong. Stamkos of the Strat came up.
I like that.
Who would you like liken your guitar playing to in terms of NHL players? Is Stamkos a good comp? Because you're like, I mean, I think of, are you like a modern, dare I say, because you're like that, like elite, like perfect rhythm player who obviously can shred, but doesn't always choose to. So like, what is that in hockey terms? Or is that even an apt summary?
Well, I think inherently, because people separate rhythm and lead guitar, the rhythm guitar might be immediately compared more to a defenseman than a forward. So dare I say, you know, in our generation, as far as people that focus on rhythm guitar, I might just go with our boy Hughes. I'm going to put points on the board. I'm going to crash the net. I'm going to play lead when I got to, but I'm going to hold down the rhythm section and make sure that thing feels good.
It's not a good comp because I've seen too many pictures of you. You smile.
That is true.
You're so cheery.
Personality. Well, I mean, I don't know the cat. I mean, he's locked in. I don't know what. It's different vibe. You know, we all got to do what we got to do to get in the zone.
Do you want to talk some of like the hockey/music thing? What is your hockey background? Because you can obviously play, as we saw in Wong on Ice and in the crazy game of hockey. But like, did you just grow up playing?
I mean, yeah, I grew up in the Twin Cities in Minnesota, so it's like basically part of your Phi Ed, you know. So, you know, we're not Canada, but it's about as close as you get, where it's kind of just what you do after school. The rink right across the street, like in the backyard of the elementary school. Like, oh, you want to go do this thing, or you want to just go home, or we all get the boys together and meet up at the warming house and put on the skates and get out and play. You know, we play pond hockey. I mean, just literally right half a block away. Just go out to the boat launch here, and we got pond hockey going already, and we got outdoor rinks just kind of everywhere. I mean, I'm within a 2-minute drive of where I'm at. There's 4 or 5 rinks, you know, with a warming house, a couple of them being nicer than others, but it's great. A community of people hanging out, kids, adults, everybody just kind of playing together, having a good time.
In addition to your hockey prowess and also a musician, if folks don't know, Cory also does that. You, before we had the word content creator, were like a very, very gifted content creator, and you just felt a little ahead of the curve kind of on everything, where you would produce things that I'd be like, Cory Wong just made this video. I don't know how he made this video, but this is the sickest video I've ever seen in the world. And my music friends were like, this is unbelievable. And my non-music friends were like, who is this guy? And specifically like 2021, I feel like you've been doing it for a minute at that point, but in 2021, you did Wong on Ice, which was a music and hockey hybrid performance in which you put the band on skates and just played songs, played hockey. Sean just threw up the video now. It's unbelievable. Just going back and forth the band. You got Sonny T sitting on a Zamboni, just absolutely ripping it. I love that you got your keys player wearing a helmet as he's playing the organ. It's such a funny aesthetic, but it's also a sick video and a sick performance. What made you think to do that? Is it just that you're a musician from Minnesota?
I mean, it's that plus like Disney on Ice. You know, it's like there's these funny like entertainment things. And I'm always trying to think of like, what's something entertaining that we could do that's not just like, because I think in the genre that I do, especially with like the albums I make, I have singers and I have featured guests and that sort of thing. But a lot of times with my band, it's instrumental music. The majority, like if you see me at a festival, it's mostly instrumental music. So a lot of the people that do what I do, they take themselves so seriously. And also it's just like they get up there and they just kind of play the music and don't really think about how the performance aspect of it translates to an audience. And for me, I think it's fun to deliver at the highest level of excellence musically, but also to give a really compelling and interesting performance to it. And it's like, how can we stretch the bounds of what we're doing? Is it playing on tiny instruments? Cool. That's like an element. Can we make something really compelling with instruments that are all really tiny? And is it, you know, trying to make like I did a variety show, you know, where I kind of made my own late night show setting that sort of thing up? Can we make something compelling that way? And this was like, oh, feels like a fun Minnesota winter thing. I've never done like a Christmas album or anything. It's like, oh, here's my winter offering. And I'll tell you what, the hardest part was not convincing my band and not doing it. The hardest part was actually getting ice time in the winter in Minnesota, where they would let us bring all my stuff out there. They're like, you have 3 hours. We'll give you 3 hours of ice time. Like, you cannot be there a minute before, a minute after. So we had 3 hours to set everything up, film it all, and get it all off of there. So it was more just like, this would be fun to do. I have no idea if it will work. Most of the guys, well, I'd say about half my band is from Minnesota. So some of them were familiar with skating and playing some hockey. Others had just like never been on skates before. You could see a lot of the cats on rental skates. You know, it's like, it's pretty funny. But everybody was down. Everybody was having a good time with it. I just thought, oh yeah, it's going to be great. We'll see if the instruments stay in tune on the ice. They did for the most part.
You also play in the crazy game of hockey with the OAR guys. And I was looking, I've seen videos from it, but I looked at the 2023 roster of Team Wong, and that roster was stacked. In addition to Cory Wong, Mike Modano, Hillary Knight, Jason Zucker, Drew Stafford, Bruins killer Thomas Vanek, Nicholas Backstrom. There were killers on there. What's it like playing with like Mike Modano, especially when, Sean, if you have the video, at timeouts, Cory was playing music from the bench. And I'm just wondering what Mike Modano's thinking during that, as we're going to get demonetized to the high heavens with all these videos, because right now Damn It is playing. But like, what's that like for you, where you're like, I'm next to Mike Modano and I just got to do a quick little blink right now?
I mean, I knew it was going to be fun for them because it's a charity game, but also any of those cats that have played at that level, there's like some level of assassin that you can't take out of them. So, you know, like when it gets as soon as it gets a tiny bit competitive, you know, they turn it on in a little bit of a different way. For me, in the realm of being on skates next to them, just like there's no training I can. There's no 6-month program that I can do that will prepare me to be like, you know, even, you know, next to cats that are on the Wild now. Like, I think the Wild team members that were on my team were Hartman, Spurgeon, Merrill. And the other team had Boldy, and I don't remember who exactly. I don't remember who all were current players that were on the team, but it's like, I'm not going to be able to keep up. So I'm just going to, I'm not really going to prepare other than make sure that I'm in shape, you know, and having a good time. They didn't expect me to, it's not like they were disappointed in like, oh man, you should have known where to be here or there. It's like, dude, I can't keep up with you guys no matter what. And the thing I can bring to the table is vibes on the bench. And if that means shredding some Blink-182 or some Nirvana with my band. So my band was also there as like the pep band, and I was playing wireless from the bench. It was pretty fun.
Have you ever thought of where you would be if you did not have the attitude that you have? Because like, I think that if someone says, who's Cory Wong, I send them the Dave Koz video where you basically harassed supermarket sweeps legend Dave Koz into just like being in your world. And I said supermarket sweeps legend, but Dave Koz is a prolific saxophone player who was very big in the 90s, just smooth as hell. And you made a video talking about how you love Dave Koz and you want to play with him and you want him to like indoctrinate you into the smooth jazz scene. And you just kept making videos about it, kept posting about it, and eventually it resulted in the sickest video in the world, in which you're playing one of your songs, and over the course of the video, Dave Koz is texting you being like, all right, enough, fine, I'll do it. And you use your like sky miles to fly him out. And it ends with like the video like pans over to Dave Koz has been in the studio, just absolutely rips the sickest solo in the world, and you're so happy. And you could just sit around being like, man, it'd be cool to do some shit with Koz, but instead you made it happen. It's like, I'm such a believer in better to be too much than to be too little.
Sure.
If you were just like a chill dude, that doesn't happen. So I'm sure that there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into stuff like that. But I feel like you have a million of those things.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to pinpoint any superpower that I have, it's probably ambition. Maybe for better or worse, but like you're saying, I think mostly for better. And I think my secondary superpower would be committing to the bit. And with the cause thing, it was just kind of funny because we were on tour somewhere. I think we had just gotten done headlining in LA or something, some big show, and we were backstage watching some YouTube videos, as one does. And there was just some video of Dave Koz that popped up, and I was like, dang, this band is kind of killing. And somebody's like, yeah, but that's Dave Koz. They're smooth jazz. That's just like some BS. Like, it's smooth jazz. Smooth jazz sucks. I'm like, I mean, nobody's going to argue that. Nobody of our age group is going to argue that. But the thing I am going to argue is Dave Koz is an incredible sax player. I might not like most of his albums, and I don't really want to listen to it when I'm sitting in my dentist's office waiting room, but the guy can play live. The guy's an incredible player. So I went on this, like you're saying, I went on this weird journey where it's like, I actually don't know if I'm joking or not, but I'm going to commit to playing with Dave Koz. And then I was too deep on the bit where I'm like, frick, I don't know whether I'm joking or not anymore. He doesn't know whether I'm joking or not. My audience doesn't know whether I'm joking or not. And then I think that whole tension played into it where it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then it ended up being really fun and really great. And I think it's a testament to Dave, being a legit elite level musician and just a cool dude who's down. He's like, I think you're taking the piss out of me. I think I'm the butt of a joke right now. But like, I'm also pretty sure that I'm in on it, like that I'm down, like that it's fun. I just like that somebody would use me as the butt of their joke. And I was like, yeah, I don't know whether I'm joking or not. And like, it's turned into this amazing friendship and even mentorship, you know, as him who's been in the industry for so long and who's done so much is like become a great friend and mentor to me and my band. And that kind of stuff is just like, oh, this is insane how this turned out. And if it was somebody who was a total dick, it would have gone haywire in some weird way. And then actually I could have ended up looking like a total dick also. And I think that sort of vulnerability, the ambition and the commitment to that bit and just the fact that it was cool ended up being great.
If you had said that you just really wanted to play with Don Henley, your career would be fucked. He would have sued you 800 times. Like, it would be like really just like bad, dark time. He would have a Fender sponsorship instead of you. He would have taken everything. But that story reminded me of a story that I'm going to butcher because I don't totally remember it perfectly. But there's a song that I love by Thundercat, Kenny Loggins, and Michael McDonald called Show You the Way. It's smooth as hell. And it came to be, I believe, because Thundercat in a magazine interview was like, if you could collaborate with any artist, who would it be? And he was like, Michael McDonald, no doubt. And like they didn't follow up on it or whatever. And Michael McDonald's people saw it, showed it to Michael McDonald, and Michael McDonald was like, this guy's probably making fun of me, but I like Thundercat. But like Thundercat is the biggest Steely Dan dude in the world.
Oh yeah.
And so they reached out and Thundercat was like, no, I want to make like some fucking yacht rock with you. And they were like, let's get Loggins on the track. And they made an amazing song.
So good.
And if it weren't, like great point about Koz being like, I might be being made fun of here, but this doesn't seem like a bad guy. And he definitely doesn't seem like a bad player.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Simply put,
Yeah.
it sounds like you guys just kind of matched each other's freak.
Absolutely. And the other thing is a lot of these celebrities that are comfortable in themselves and that are actually legit, many of them have released the toxic parts of ego years ago, where it's like somebody like Michael McDonald, he has nothing to prove anymore. Kenny Loggins, he doesn't have anything to prove. Koz is the same way, you know, like those guys they're ace musicians. They're incredible artists. They've done their thing. It's like at this point, I got nothing to prove. If these guys like me, cool. If not, fine. If they know who I am. Actually, speaking of Loggins, and whether they know who am or not, sorry to sidetrack this. I was playing the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival a couple of years ago, and I was staying at a nice hotel in New Orleans, and I go down to the hotel bar, and I'm hanging there, just like I was getting ready, waiting for the shuttle or whatever. We had like rides that would bring us to the festival. I'm hanging, eating, having a drink, and this older dude comes up to the bar and sits down next to me. He's like, "Oh, hey, you're that guitar guy." I was like, "Oh yeah, hey, what's up?" He goes, "Yeah, I was coming into the hotel with some of my buddies, and they were saying they really like your music." And I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks, blah, blah, blah." You know, sometimes have interactions like this with fans. Sometimes they're weird. Sometimes they're totally cool. It's like, "Oh yeah, you seem like a put together dude. You're at this nice hotel. You're hanging." Oh, well, he's asking me about what I'm doing and when I'm playing at the festival. He's like, "Oh, cool. I'll come check you out tonight." I was like, "Oh yeah, great. What else are you, what are you here in town for? Are you here just for the festival? Or are you blah, blah?" He's like, "Oh no, I'm actually playing tomorrow too." I was like, "Oh, cool. Well, what time are you playing? Maybe I'll be able to come catch your set too. Like I don't know what's going on, but I'll let you know." He's like, "Oh, I'm playing at like 5:30. I was like, "Oh, what band are you playing with?" He's like, "Oh, I'm Kenny Loggins." I was like, "Oh, ah, ah." And I just put my head down. I was like, "I'm sorry, man." He's like, "To be honest, I love these interactions. I could tell that you're genuinely like a dude who loves music and is passionate about what you do. I know that you know my music. It's fine that you didn't know what I look like. Like we're just two guys hanging out." And then we hung out for a little while longer. He came to my show and I came to his show and we said hi and hung out. He's a great dude, but I just, for whatever reason, I didn't recognize him when I saw him, and great guy.
That's unbelievable. Sort of in a similar vein, can you indulge me for a second and let me ask a very lame question, because I'm the biggest John Mayer guy in the world.
Yeah.
What is it like hanging out with John Mayer?
He is also the coolest. And that is coming. I'll preface that by this. You're going to hear stories of people who are public figures, or in this case with John, like an actual celebrity, right? You have some people that like, and I guess this is also true in the hockey world. Some people that are like legit celebrity hockey players, other people that are in the NHL that's like, "Oh yeah, I know that cat," but I might not know what they look like outside of their, without their jersey on. For me, like I am a public person, but only so far. Like I'm still what I would consider fairly niche. Like if you're a guitar player, sure, you might know who I am, and in certain realms, but I'm not like pop culture celebrity in the way that like,
Kenny Loggins.
well,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's all. That was all my bad. But in the case of like somebody like John Mayer is, or like a Connor McDavid, right? So people that are just like actual celebrities. My interactions with John are very much, we're two guitar players hanging out. I grew up as a huge John Mayer fan. I still am. But our interactions started as him asking me about stuff about guitar. He knew that I was a fan. He had heard some interviews and he knows that I'm just like in the guitar community. But our conversations were always about guitar gear, or, "Oh, what do you like about this Stratocaster versus this? Oh, have you tried this amp versus this? Hey, how about these tubes?" It's like this nerdy, like, "Hey, do you like the 12 AX7 or the 12 8 or the AT7s on this amp? Oh, well, do you like these in an AC30 or a twin reverb? Oh yeah, but really you should check out the response time of this Dumble amp. It almost feels like solid state, but it has all the great qualities of a tube." Blah, blah, blah. It's like these sort of conversations that you're not going to get into with just the average civilian. There's a certain like guitar nerd personality that you have to be able to want to go deep on these conversations. And that's been our interaction. So hanging out with him is really fun because, he's got all the gear that's fun and multiples of a lot of it. And so we can talk about it, and, we have our own experience. We respect each other's artistry, and we have a kindred spirit in the Stratocaster realm. So it's fun to just have a person that's at that level to just hang and talk music with.
Last thing I want to ask to kind of like bridge the hockey and John Mayer and all these musicians things. We had Baio from Vampire Weekend on. Chris Baio is a great bass player and a big New York Rangers fan, so probably not having the best time right now. And we were like, who else in the music game is into hockey? Is it just like you, Tate McRae, and one other person on a group text who's into hockey? So I want to run through some names, and it's all going to lead up to one big one. But like, is Joe Dart, for example, I would think he'd be a Red Wings guy. Are any of the Wolfpack dudes into hockey?
Yeah, I mean, I think absolutely, Jacob Jeffries and Jack Stratton are big Panthers guys.
Whoa! Jack Stratton being a Panthers guy fits his personality so well.
Yeah. And Jack
I don't even
actually
know if that's an insult.
Stratton played hockey growing up with the Kelsey brothers.
What?
Really? Wow. Damn.
That is.
Yeah,
we're going to get like a bajillion views now just because we're going to post anything that has to do with the Kelsey brothers. We never get to talk about those guys.
I don't remember if it was squirt hockey, what it was, but Jack was playing hockey growing up in the Cleveland area and was on a team with the Kelsey brothers.
That's amazing. Damn. That's the big three right there. That rocks. No, I could see
the big three, Stratton and the Kelsey brothers.
I could see Jack Stratton loving the Panthers, and I could definitely see him kind of identifying with Sasha Barkov, because I would assume he's got to be like the band leader and like the MD and everything, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of do it all. He's mixing, he's playing every instrument, like really making sure he is truly like a jack of all trades and master of all of them. And that's kind of what Sasha Barkov is. So that makes sense for me. So Dart, you're not sure on Red Wings?
I haven't really had much hockey convo with Dart.
I'm guessing no on John Mayer, because John Mayer shares his passions. He'll wear them on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And Connecticut lost their hockey team.
Oh, so maybe that's why. I could see him being a Whalers guy.
Yeah.
But you're never talking hockey with Mayer?
I haven't talked. I know he's down with baseball. He's a Mets guy.
Oh, he's a Mets guy? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. The one I wanted to build to, because I know that you play with like Bland and a lot of those guys, to your knowledge, was Prince a hockey fan?
I never talked hockey with Prince. We never got that far.
But you talked with Prince. So like Prince, were, I know that you were in like Prince's world. I just didn't know if like timing wise
he used to come see my band play. I would see him at the clubs and stuff in the Twin Cities, and he would invite a bunch of the music scene. Like we were invited to Paisley Park a bunch of times for different events. I don't know, because I mean, I think, had Norm Green made some different decisions in the early 90s and the Stars stayed in Minnesota, he probably would have had a closer thing. But also, just culturally, where he grew up in North Minneapolis, it wasn't much of a hockey neighborhood. Although I learned this from doing Wong on Ice. Sonny T, who is Prince's first guitar teacher, but played bass in Prince's band, and then has also played in my band a bunch. He's the one sitting on the Zamboni in Wong on Ice. When we did that, I had no idea that Sonny had any experience in a hockey rink. He's like, "Oh, dude, my first job, I worked at a hockey rink." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I used to be the one who would like give skates to people. I'd like help the kids put on their skates. I'd help them get the rental skates and this and that." So I know that they were aware of hockey, and again, being in Minnesota, but I will have to ask Bland and Sonny about whether Prince was a hockey guy or not.
It would be a huge scoop for us if we were to be able to drop the Prince liked hockey. It would be very, very big for us. We like Bieber, that's on record. Tate McRae, that's on record. You got Baio on record, but if we were to get Prince, that would really kind of trump all.
I mean, famously, the Wild made "Let's Go Crazy" their goal song after Prince died, which I don't think they ever should have changed.
Yeah,
but
is it Shout now?
I don't know what it is.
It's Shout, which like
Shout's good. I
Banger.
mean, it's yeah.
It does stink though. Like it's or it must be humbling that you've done incredible things in music. You've done incredible things in hockey because you are from Minnesota. If they go with like the big music from Minnesota, there's like 6 million Prince songs people are going to be throwing up there before they're getting to The Optimist or any of your bangers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start writing specifically for hockey celebration tunes. I'm going to have to I might have to go on a full cause style campaign.
Dude,
I mean,
going.
unfortunately, the precedent has been set. You just got to die first. They didn't use Let's Go Crazy when Prince was alive. We'll just say that.
Let's maybe I take the easier route and I maybe I take the actual hockey player method and I start out in the AHL. Maybe we test things out
not
with the Iowa Wild.
yes.
Maybe get a little two-way going, work my way into the league.
There you go.
Yeah. You'd be like, all right, I'm going to license this to you for like 800 thou.
Yes.
I don't need big money or 800 thou when you're playing, if you play it in the NHL.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's happy to ride the buses. Cory, I can't believe you came on. It's so cool that you did. So happy for you that the Wild are doing their thing. Could be a cup year. If it is, we'd love to have you back.
I would be stoked. I'm excited to see what happens. I appreciate you guys having me on. Always happy to chat.
Coolest person in the world, Cory Wong. I'm so glad that the chat was having a party with it because I think there was only one comment that was like, when are you guys going to talk hockey again? Sometime is always the answer to that. You can get the full Cory Wong interview on YouTube. It'll be up, I believe, later today. And Emily, we got some breaking news, and it's like an hour old, but that's breaking for us. The Blackhawks are scratching Artem Levshinov tonight in Toronto after he was late showing up to the rink yesterday, according to Jeff Blashill. Tough days for hockey players showing up to things.
Set the alarm loud, boys. Set 2 alarms. Yeah. I think this is one of those things where it's kind of a snowball effect where if somebody does it, then everybody has to do it because, like, well, we're not going to be the team that doesn't keep our players accountable. So maybe Artie was just a victim of some bad Mika Zibanejad timing is all I'll say.
Hey, if ever you can be more like Mika Zibanejad in 2025, you've got to do it. What do you have, Sean?
No, I just
evergreen advice.
I mentioned it I feel like a couple months ago when iOS came out with the new update. I was having issues hearing my alarm in the morning, and I had one other person confirm, like, say that they were having that experience too. Like I don't know. I haven't seen or heard any like real thing about it, but I feel like once they did that update, the alarms got a lot less invasive.
Is
So
iOS update sabotaging the 2025-26 NHL season?
Questions
What
will be
Chaos
asked.
investigates.
Small rinks and what would that be? Inaudible alarms?
Soft alarms.
Yeah.
fine alarms.
Inaudibles.
I'll say, like, this is, I feel like, the most noise we've gotten about an iOS update or any sort of, like, Apple thing since the infamous U2 iPhone, iPad thing. What
It was
it?
iPhone.
They're
Like
putting it
Apple
on the
Music.
iPhone?
Yeah, they put the whole album on your Apple Music.
I thought that we were kind of done being mad about updates. Everyone is pissed about this update, which, frankly, I don't know how to use anything on this new update. I don't know how to switch between tabs anymore, so I just keep starting a new one. So I'm going to have 6,000 tabs. I always try to keep it to like 10 tabs max. But I don't know what I'm doing on this thing. But everyone is way angrier than they usually are. How you doing with this update?
I'm so scared it's going to do it overnight without asking me. I hope they
Oh,
consent,
you're not doing.
so
Oh, you're.
I'm not there yet.
Oh,
I am
protecting my
one of
peace.
the like early adopters. Like when Apple puts out an update, I do it immediately. And I'm looking. Apparently, there's other people who have complained about the audio of the volume of the alarm, to which Apple says, "Turn up your volume," which is not a satisfying resolution. to me.
Apple said skill issue.
Yeah, crazy.
That is amazing.
Apple said unplug it and plug it back in. Got it.
I have the thing. It's I don't know what it's called, but it's like a warm little circle thing, and it wakes you up slowly. Maybe it's called a Nest or something like that.
Not sure.
I don't have it. My girlfriend does, and it like slowly just like plays soft sounds, and then it just gets like louder and louder and louder, so you naturally wake up. Guess what does not wake me up?
That
fucking
I was
thing.
going to say, if you're trying to get me up, I need like a drill sergeant. I need someone running into my room, turning on the lights, throwing the blankets off of me. Like I need to be shocked. My system's shocked.
Every day I ask her what time you set the alarm for, and I either set my alarm for 5 minutes later because it's going to need to wake me up, or every now and then just to assert dominance, I set my alarm clock for 5 minutes earlier, and she hears like a shitty ass like chime iPhone thing after she spent $1 bajillion on this state of the art thing. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. We also have William Nylander news, and this is important to me because, Emily, a couple of weeks ago, I was hounding you, asking you questions about William Nylander's glove habits because I was trying to get to the bottom of why he wears so many gloves and why he is constantly holding his gloves like a lobster. Let's see if he needs gloves for this, a Shake Shack item, or his own Shake Shack items.
Yeah.
It's a cherry per Luke Fox. Cherry pepper power play burger, which is a cheeseburger with crispy onions, spicy cherry peppers, and Shake Shack sauce on a potato bun. Then a double cookie crunch shake. What the hell? Vanilla frozen custard, dairy. There's just dairy in there. Crushed chocolate, chocolate chip cookies, and cookie crumb. What are we giving this,
That
Sean?
burger sounds fucking awesome.
I'm out on that burger.
Why?
Because I'm not a huge cherry pepper guy, and I'm not a huge banana pepper guy.
Oh, so yeah, we're different there.
If there's a fruit before if there's a fruit name before the word pepper,
fair
it's
enough.
not my favorite pepper.
You're not a cherry tomato guy either?
No, I'll do cherry
What about a
tomatoes
sport
all
pepper?
day. What's
Sport
that?
pepper guy?
Oh,
Sport
huge
pepper?
sports pepper guy. Oh, Sean, though.
Of course.
Sean's got some thoughts on that. Sean, tell Emily how you feel about Chicago dogs.
I think they're I think it's complete bullshit. I think it's such a scam, and I think it's absolutely insane that Chicago
What is
people
the scam
insist
about it?
that Chicago people insist that putting a salad on top of a hot dog is a good way to eat a hot dog. And also, ketchup is good. Sorry about it. It's good. And it's even better on a hot dog.
I don't know what type of salads that they make in Western New York when you were growing up, but
A
that
full
is no salad that I
full
ate.
pickle, multiple slices of tomato, like that's not what
Sounds like you
that's
guys
not
are both scared of a little acidity.
No, I love acidity. And how are you going to say scared of acidity and then be like, I don't like ketchup though? Because ketchup rocks. It hits every single flavor profile. One of the only sauces
Got
/ dips in
umami.
all of the world that does it.
I'm supposed to be.
My thought of this Willy Nylander burger, by the way, sounds pretty greasy, especially when you're taking in that extra dairy. Maybe that's why he's changing the glove so much. His hands are just a little greased up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not sweat. It's grease.
I was
Burger
wondering
grease.
how we could make this about William Nylander's gloves, and
Don't worry, I
Emily
promise
did it
that. We're
in
here.
2 moves, which is move 1, get yelled at by Sean. Move 2, be like, I bet that's a greasy burger.
1A, defend myself. We're there.
The chat is there's a lot of fuck Sean's food takes, rare Sean L, first bad Sean opinion. So the chat is defending you and agreeing with you, Emily.
And I'm not even a Chicago gal. Like, I grew up in New Jersey, but like deep dish, trash. Like, if you want a lasagna, you eat deep dish.
I've always said
for
that.
Sunday-itis. Yeah. But there are certain things that I will defend Chicago, and the Italian beef and the dogs are pretty damn good.
Italian beef.
Italian
is
beef goes. I love
goated.
Italian beef. Yes.
Let's see. Aaliyah in the chat says ketchup is for chicken nuggets and fries only.
And hot dogs.
Hold on.
Ketchup
here.
is good.
Ketchup. I don't like food shaming, and I say this because I am a little baby boy who just can only eat chicken fingers and like 3 other things because I have the lamest palate in the world. I don't shame people for if they put ketchup on whatever. Like, I love the scene in The Bear where his cousin says, where he doesn't pack the ketchup because it's a kid's birthday party. And they're like, wait, where's the ketchup? What kind of asshole? Like, I didn't bring it. What kind of asshole puts ketchup on a hot dog? Children. Like, kids are the assholes.
Saying it's something kids do is not necessarily a great endorsement of it. Because, like, I think if you put like ketchup on scrambled eggs, you're an insane person and you should be imprisoned. I will shame people for their food takes. I have no qualms about that. But generally speaking, like, there's just food's good. Like, you can't eliminate. I was gonna say you can't.
That's a
eliminate
good
your
take,
food.
Sean. You should stand by that take.
Quote card.
Well, I was gonna say you can't eliminate food things just like on some weird principle, but I also refuse to dip wings in ranch dressing. Even though ranch rocks, I won't do it because it's a sin.
See, I don't like ranch.
That's crazy. Ranch is so good.
I'm not a ranch boy, and
Blue
I'm also
cheese.
not a Buffalo Wings guy.
Yeah, I mean, you're wrong, but that's fine. As I like to say, everyone's entitled to their incorrect opinion.
Yeah. No, I have some food takes that I'm like, oh, I know that I'm wrong, and I know that my face is broken, but whatever. We can't all be perfect. I did not know this, Emily. You're watching Heated Rivalry.
I am. Tough start, I'll say this. I started it on the plane ride back home for Thanksgiving, New Jersey to Chicago. Not a plane show, guys. I had to turn it off after a couple minutes. That poor kid sitting next to me. But I found it really fun. I found it a lovely love story in so many ways. And I think the other thing I appreciated about it is it just feels really authentic. Like it's authentically Canadian and authentically hockey. And I think so much of it is true, right? Of just one, the way that the media has completely overhyped this rivalry, which doesn't really seem like a real rivalry at all. Like that's something that hockey media would do. And two, the fact that to this point, like we're all wondering, like how would the NHL or how would hockey players receive a gay teammate? And I think what's really beautiful about it is that like no one seems to care. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a big deal at all. And I just think that's been a really lovely aspect about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of like, hey, are you watching Heated Rivalry? And the reaction, and if I say yes, people are either like, oh my God, yes, I want to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And there's so many questions about Shane and Ilya and Scott Hunter. And then some people are just like, oh, nice, I haven't checked it out. Is it good? And they just kind of move on with their life. And,
exactly.
We were talking a little off the air while the Cory Wong interview was playing. And like my fear was that like I did not want it to deter a player from potentially coming out over as a result of like fetishizing. And I don't think that's happened. Like even the people that are the most excited about it are being cool. Like they're not losing their, like, I mean, like I'm losing my minds over how many lamps Ilya has, but it's just a fucking good show and it gets me excited. And like, I like that no one's going overboard beyond just thinking these characters rock. The soundtrack for the last episode rocks. Jacob Tierney, he's doing the thing. Love it.
He's doing the thing, and he better do the thing of putting you guys in season 2. Another authentically hockey thing about it. And look, I love Connor McKenna. I go way back with Connor McKenna. Like, he has such a great show. But just let Connor McKenna do his thing. His hockey podcast in the show does kind of suck. And I think that you guys should have a podcast off in season 2.
What? Oh, that would be... What if they were like, okay, the streets spoke, we answered. What chaos will be in season 2? Are we allowed to like beggars can't be choosers? Should we be like, all right, here's what we would do in this scene if we're like doing a show on that day? Or are they going to be like, no, here are your lines, say it like this? Because I trust Tierney implicitly. I'm already acting like I'm working with him. I trust him to come up with the right things for what chaos. Is that like a Tierney Connor McKenna thing for why Man in the Crease is bad? Because I can't blame Tierney. I just think that the great Connor McKenna...
I'm blaming the writers. You know what? And I'll ask Connor. And again, huge Connor McKenna fan.
Yeah.
There's no way he came up with that.
No, I think it's possible he just blew it. It's possible like this is like his big moment. He's finally where everyone wants to be in this business, which is on a hit HBO show. And he's like, all right, just like any other day, Connor, you got this. Just do a good, normal hockey show. All right, 3, 2, 1. Scott Hunter hasn't scored in 5 minutes. Should we kill him? Fuck. Like, maybe he's just like in his head.
Or maybe he's actually, again, it's authentic. They're just aggregating the wrong clips from his show. It's actually a beautifully nuanced podcast, but we're only getting the worst 10 seconds of it.
I mean, if people selectively picked clips from our show, it could tell a way different story. So fair enough.
Yeah, Emily Kaplan watches Heated Rivalry on a plane, and then they just stopped there.
Yeah, it's like, every clip of you is just you swearing. Every clip when Pete's on the show is Sean and I pretending that Pete's a horrible person, and it can paint a different picture. All I'm saying is what we've heard from Man in the Crease so far isn't good. We know that Connor McKenna can do better, but we definitely know what Chaos can do better. Sean, shall we get to the slate?
Why not?
Let's see it. All right, tonight, kicking us off at 7 p.m. Eastern in the United States and Canada, Utah Mammoth, the Boston Bruins. I do not believe that is a bowl of anybody.
Utah Mammoth, Boston Bruins. I can number crunch. I don't think so.
7 p.m. You also got the Blackhawks at the Maple Leafs. That would be an Ed Belfour Bowl. It's a good one.
Nice.
Flyers at the Montreal Canadiens. That is at 7 p.m. Eastern. Flyers Canadiens. Anyone off the top of my head? Let's see. Players who have played for Flyers and Canadiens. We got John LeClaire. It's a good one. Jeff Hackett. We got any fun ones? Glenn Metropolit. Shout out Glenn Metropolit. And
Confirm no Utah Mammoth, Boston Bruins crossover.
damn. Islanders at Red Wings, 7 p.m. You got the Canucks at the Rangers, 7 p.m. That, of course, is Miller time. The Ducks at the Blue Jackets, 7 p.m. Eastern on TNT. Oilers versus Penguins in a Stu Skinner revenge game. Can we call this a Tristan Jarry revenge game?
I think so.
Yeah, but Tristan Jarry
You put him on waivers last year.
Oh, yeah, yes, true.
Yeah,
true.
it's definitely more of a Stu has more of a point to make, I would say, because this was more of like the Oilers wanted Jarry, didn't want Stu, than it is Pittsburgh not wanting Jarry.
Stu should be like, fuck these guys, and Jarry should be like, Kyle Dubas, you saved my life. Thank you for trading me. You got the Capitals at the Wild. Cory Wong will be enjoying that at 8 p.m. Eastern. Flames at Sharks at 10 p.m. And then on TNT, we'll count this one as the Tuch because it's on TNT, so it'll probably start a little later as a result of that first Pittsburgh-Edmonton game. You got the Avalanche at the Kraken, 10 p.m. Eastern. This better structure than last night. I was up working on stuff yesterday, Sean, and I turned on the TV because I was like, oh, it's going to be a late one. I need some West Coast hockey. Watch the end of King's Stars, and then that shit was over.
Yeah.
I didn't have shit to do.
Yeah, it was a weird slate last night. I said this to you off the show. Flames San Jose should be a mandatory color-on-color jersey matchup.
Flames San Jose? Yeah, it's a little Christmas forward.
It's Christmas time.
It's Hanukkah time.
It's Por qué no los dos?
It's festive time. Give us colors.
Because it is.
That should just be a thing. It should be like holiday season, as many color-on-color matchups as possible. Just give us the colors.
I mean, I think that the Canucks and Rangers, if they want with their jerseys, can do a little Hanukkah forward thing.
Just blue on blue?
Just like, well, I guess even if they just wear their regular jerseys, you're getting some white, you're getting some blue.
Yeah.
You're, I was not allowed to wear my Stu Skinner. We went to a Christmas party on Saturday.
Oh, that's not what I thought.
My girlfriend, who is not Christian, was wearing like red and green stuff, and she was like, okay, well, tomorrow when you come to Hanukkah, you need to wear white and blue stuff as a joke. And I was like, I have the fucking thing. I got a white.
Can there be a little bit of orange in it?
That's what I said. I was like, can there be a splash of orange? And she said no. And then she ended up wearing an Oilers thing to Hanukkah anyway.
Oh, wow. Bad behavior.
What the hell's that about? And she got that weird alarm clock.
Somebody
very much.
in the chat asked, and I think it's an interesting question. If you were to live in Idaho, essentially equidistant between Utah and Seattle, what team are you choosing? I mean, I feel like right now, if you're looking for what's going to give you the best return on investment, that might be the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah.
But I mean, Seattle. I mean, not that Seattle's really bad, but
there was like a whole turf war though in the West. Like, remember I told you I was on that bus ride with the Golden Knights? Like, they were trying to stake claim to Idaho, and I think they had to give part of it back to Utah and Seattle when they came in as expansion team. So I think you get to choose. I think it's more so, what is your VPN situation? Do you have ESPN Plus? Where are you blocked out? I think that logistics should probably factor into your play here.
Plus, I feel like Idaho just feels more Utah.
Yeah.
Like Idaho feels a little more like
culturally,
mountainous,
you're right.
and not PNW coastal.
Culturally, two states that have Brigham Young University.
Ah, yes.
Right?
Yeah, I believe.
Because there's the main campus, I believe, is in Utah, and then is it Provo?
Yeah, BYU's Provo, yeah.
Yep, and then I think there's a BYU Idaho.
I believe you're right. I do believe that part of like the large like Mormon migration to the west involved Utah and Idaho.
It's a BYU forward landscape. they have.
Yes.
Okay. This structure is a lot better than last night's. I would say, all in all, that
We're getting spammed with Brett Kulak Bowl, Brett Kulak Bowl, Brett Kulak
Oh,
Bowl.
I'm sorry. It's also a Brett Kulak Bowl.
Revenge game.
Shit. This has to be an A-, but also Jari Stu might be like the game of the year right now.
I mean, I
Like,
don't know. There
I'm-
haven't been a lot of games that have had that much juice, like just like storyline, chaos, fun juice going into the game, I feel like.
I mean, our friend Nate texted us and was like, hey, like last minute, does anyone want my Bruins tickets for tonight? And I immediately said, Sean, do you want Nate's Bruins tickets? Because I am so deeply sat for Stu versus Jari. I don't even care about the Jari of it all. I'm just sat to watch Stu. But this is an A-. This is an A- with a real good headliner. And then who knows? You get to watch. Kraken Avalanche is kind of.
Hey, I mean, that's
worthwhile.
2023 first round rematch.
Yes, of
Seattle
course.
knocked out Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good series too. All right, it's an A- now. Let's quickly, thanks to Sports Interaction, Sports Book and Casino, talk about this Oilers-Penguins game. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook, Sports Interaction, Ontario only, 19+. Please play responsibly. Sean, what do you have for me in way of Stuart Skinner saves this evening?
How about 24.5 total? And the unders for losers. So we're taking the over.
Okay, so we're taking the over. I will just say that Stuart Skinner, with the exception of, I mean, he wasn't horrible in the Sabres game, but with the exception of that Sabres game, was on quite the run when the Oilers got rid of him. Very Oilers behavior. They fired Jay Woodcroft when he started winning as well. It just seems so perfectly Stu, doesn't it, Emily, to have a good performance. And at the very least, either he has a good performance or the Oilers are like, we just got this guy traded. We need to light him up to prove that we were right.
I think so. And I think the other thing that you can bank on is he's going to have an incredible performance and then a super vulnerable, heartwarming post-game interview where he like spills his soul and just talks about how much these boys meant to him as brothers, and it'll just be very beautiful.
I mean, I love TNT as I love all of the broadcast partners of the NHL. It does big time hurt me that in the States this one's on TNT, because Gene would have gotten a post game with Stu, like guarantee. Like no matter
Gene
what.
so well. He has some alpha, moves there. He'll go in the back hallway. They'll do like a fireside chat. It'll happen.
Did you see they all went to Monday Night Football last night?
I did not.
Jack, Gene, Stoff, Louis DeBrusque, they were like
Gang's all here.
Yeah. God, I want it to be there so bad. But yeah, we're going over 24.5 saves for Stu. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. Go to sportsinteraction.com/whatchaos to open an account. Ontario only, 18+. Please play responsibly. We have not yet done a like spike, so if you have not yet pressed like on this button, if you're watching live on YouTube, it goes a long way for us. Like for Sean having good Sabres news, like for Emily being here, like for Stu Skinner being on my laptop, or for the great Cory Wong conversation. This has been a very, very fun hang. Thank you so much, Emily, for being here. You rock for coming on, twice in 2 weeks?
Should we make it 3 and 3? Just kidding. We're taking next week off. But I'll come back soon because you guys are awesome. It's been a great hang.
Awesome.
You guys are a fun time.
Awesome. You're the best. Everybody, Pete will be back tomorrow, provided... No, he will. I was going to say, like, unless something happens to him, but...
I mean, I guess that's true still. Like, it applies for any of us.
This absolutely... something's going to happen to me now.
Life is unpredictable.
Life is very unpredictable.
Maybe you'll win the lottery tonight, and then you'll be like, fuck this. I'm going to the
No.
Bahamas.
I've thought about that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I'm a huge... I wouldn't tell people, but there would be signs.
Oh,
guy.
yeah. I would also tell people.
You would tell people?
I mean, if people are like, oh, Sean, you showed up with a fucking Lamborghini today. What's that about? I'd be like,
No.
Gonna lie? Like, it would be like, won the lottery, and no, you can't have any.
No, I would... I mean, if I swear to God, if I won the lottery, I would still do this show.
Yeah, as well.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I would make up some excuse. I would probably have to tell you two, but otherwise I would, like, make up some excuse as to why suddenly now we're all getting paid more. I'd be like, yo, like heated rivalry content
Yeah, it went
really
crazy.
popped up off. Now we each make $600,000 a year. Really good guys. But yeah, no, like love of the game. I would do this thing for half the fun of this is that like we're growing something.
Yeah.
That's the best part of any job. If whether you're like interning when you're young, whether you get a foot in the door and like the gig's supposed to like, I don't know, like you got to ESPN, Emily, right? It was a couple years before they got the rights, right?
It was a few years before, 2017.
And they were like putting their ducks in a row. And I knew of you as more of like a football reporter, yeah?
Came from an NFL background.
Yeah.
Basically, got a job covering hockey at ESPN.com. It all aligned perfectly, and here I am.
I remember we have a mutual friend, Tim Britton, and he was like, oh, like you would be, he was like, you should talk to my friend, Emily Kaplan. She's like a huge hockey person. And I was like, she's the football person, right? And he was like, yeah, but like if she can become a hockey person, she's gonna. And then like 2 days later, you're like a senior writer for ESPN and just absolutely destroying it. So anyway, you're the best, Emily. Thanks so much for doing this. This has been a very fun show, everyone.
Oh, it's been a blast. And for the record, if I win the lottery, the only thing I'm doing the next day is not setting my iPhone alarm. We're sleeping in.
Fuck yeah.
Avoiding all of our issues.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe getting a DJ.
That's the dream. All right. Yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.